very pleased to have you here. We're looking at issues around mental health. We're utilizing the term more psychological health and safety now, looking at leaves of absence, but also presenteeism, and looking at promising practices around return to work. We're looking at the implications for the workers themselves, for their clients, patients, students, etc., because we've got different groups that are involved here, for their co-workers, for their managers, supervisors, employers, and society more broadly.
Work-related stress for professors was rated higher.
Workplace wellness encompasses all kinds of different things.
Professors surveyed overwhelmingly
It would include everything from physical health to mental well-being to emotional well-being, so it's quite complicated.
Maybe I feel like this is a better question. Are you the primary caregiver?
The whole issue of sort of psychological stress is, I think, it's definitely become more challenging. It's a lot more complicated than it used to be.
What the job entails when you're first starting.
So we are really the first partnership to look at this issue in a very interdisciplinary way.
If we can develop an approach that is interdisciplinary, we can truly develop meaningful insights that impact all of the different components of the society that we're trying to help understand.
And part of it is, they want to have...
I'm in psychology, but this morning I was sitting at a table with accountants.
Until it gets to the point where you just can't do it anymore.
And they're talking about how they experience stress and mental health issues in that profession. And some of that I would have never thought of because I have no insight into what accountants do or how careers roll out. Previously validated and maybe has some norms. And at the same time, they get to learn from the sociologists and the psychologists and the physicians and the nurses and all of the other groups that are here.
Percentage of like how much of the practice you own?
Dentistry, medicine, academia, accounting, professions that have been traditionally masculine but are feminizing. More women are moving into those professions. And how does that impact the experiences of men and women in those jobs?
And we see this in the survey results. Women experience greater concerns related to work-family integration because as you progress in your responsibilities as an accountant, you're also in the family raising mode in your life.
Is there a part-time, like, I do flexible contract work after the kids go to bed?
So gender, we definitely had gender come out in our interviews particularly.
The other professions, nursing, midwifery, and teaching, those are traditionally feminine jobs that there hasn't been a huge influx of men into these positions.
We can look at where there are similarities, where there are differences, what those differences might actually translate into.
It seems that younger nurses are more likely to take a leave of absence. This is something that we may want to look at, as the younger generation may have a lot less tolerance for the work conditions of nurses today.
Even though we are different groups, we are not so different when it comes to the stress that we share.
Age, what do you guys think about these age categories?
If midwives are talking about it, if dentists are talking about it, if physicians are talking about it, and accountants too, then it really gives it legitimacy. It's not just one group doing work in isolation, your specific group and your mental health challenges. It's really sending the message that this is important for everyone.
We developed a measure. It has 5 factors, and 5 factors are people who are in crisis at work engage in emotional displays. They talk about being sad, stressed.
Working with the partners allows us a way to ensure that we are not just keeping these results sort of tucked away in the ivory tower, but that these are going out and making differences.
This is one of the largest, I think, collaborations that I know of that especially cuts across all those disciplines. And the ultimate goal is to point toward and actually evaluate some interventions where we actually try to change things in some organizations or some professions to make things better for people.